Hello everyone. Have you ever looked at a giant tree and wondered how do millions of tiny cells organize themselves to form something so tall, so strong, and so perfectly alive? The answer lies in tissue systems. Plants, like us, don't survive by single cells working alone. They group cells into tissues, and these tissues into systems that protect, support, and transport. In flowering plants, there are three great systems: epidermal, ground, and vascular. Each one is different, yet they work like teammates in harmony. Just as our body has organs like the heart, lungs, and brain working together, plants too build their survival on these tissue systems. Let's begin this fascinating journey inside the architecture of plants.
Let's start with the outermost layer, the epidermis, the plant's protective skin. Picture a thin but continuous layer of cells wrapping the entire plant. On stems and leaves, it often has a waxy coating called the cuticle that prevents water loss. But in roots, this coating is absent so water can be absorbed freely. Now look closely at the tiny pores called stomata. Each one is guarded by special cells, bean-shaped in most plants, dumbbell-shaped in grasses. These guard cells act like walls, opening for carbon dioxide intake and closing to save water. From roots, small hair-like outgrowths absorb water and minerals. On shoots, trichomes, little hair-like structures, protect against insects, sunlight, and drying winds. Isn't it amazing that something so microscopic plays such a vital role in plant survival? As you can see in the diagram of stomata, notice how the guard cells bend to open and close the pore. Moving inward, we come to the ground tissue, the bulk of the plant body. Think of it as the filling inside a structure, giving both function and form. The most common cells here are parenchyma. They are thin-walled, living, and versatile, storing food and water, and in leaves forming the mesophyll where photosynthesis happens. Collenchyma cells are slightly thickened at the corners. They make young stems flexible, bend the tender stem in your garden, and it springs back without breaking. Finally, sclerenchyma cells are hard and dead at maturity, their walls strengthened with lignin. Coconut shells and husk fibers owe their toughness to these cells. Together, these tissues give strength, flexibility, and metabolic activity. Now to the lifelines of the plant, the vascular tissue. Imagine a complex highway system inside every stem, root, and leaf. Xylem is the upward channel, pulling water and minerals from roots to leaves, even against gravity. Phloem is the distributor, carrying sugars from photosynthetic leaves to hungry roots, stems, and storage organs. In dicot stems, these vascular bundles are open. They have cambium, which allows secondary growth and thickening over time. In monocot stems, bundles are closed, no cambium, so no secondary growth. Sometimes xylem and phloem alternate along different radii, as in roots, this is radial arrangement. At other times, they sit side by side in stems and leaves, a conjoint arrangement. Without this network, even the tallest trees would not survive. Look at this diagram of vascular bundles, radial in roots, conjoint in stems and leaves. Now, let's see how all these systems work together. The epidermis, with its root hairs, absorbs water from the soil. The ground tissue stores it, and the vascular tissue carries it upward to the leaves. In the leaves, photosynthesis makes sugars. Phloem then transports these sugars to stems, roots, and even underground storage organs like potatoes. Protection too is shed. Trichomes discourage insects, while sclerenchyma hardens seeds and fruits. Like departments in a factory, these systems coordinate seamlessly so the whole plant can grow, reproduce, and survive. Notice in the flow diagram how each system passes its function to the next, forming one connected cycle. Let's take a closer look at the fascinating stomatal apparatus, The plant's microscopic gatekeeper. When guard cells absorb water, they swell and bend, opening the pore for carbon dioxide to enter. This allows photosynthesis to run smoothly. But in water stress, they lose water, become flaccid, and the pore closes. This simple action protects the plant from drying out. The trick lies in their walls. The inner walls are thickened, the outer ones are thin and elastic. This difference makes the guard cells bend when they gain water. In grasses, the guard cells are dumbbell-shaped. This special shape allows even faster stomatal control, helping them thrive in hot, dry conditions. Isn't it elegant how such tiny cells control a plant's entire water balance? Look at this enlarged stomatal diagram. Notice the thick inner wall and thin outer wall of the guard cells. So, let's wrap up. Plants have three main tissue systems. The epidermal system protects and controls water loss with its stomata and trichomes. The ground system forms the bulk, storing, photosynthesizing, and supporting. The vascular system creates lifelines of transport, xylem for water and phloem for food. Together, these systems form the hidden framework of flowering plants. From tiny herbs to towering trees, every plant owes its survival to these coordinated tissues. I hope you now see that plants are not just green and silent, they are living architectures built with incredible precision. Biology truly shows us the marvel of life in every leaf, every root, and every stem. Until next time, keep observing the living world with wonder.